You. It's been
Yeah.
a while. Tell us what happened with you. I know that you continued your career in the music industry, but tell us the highlights.
Okay, highlights was after you interviewed me, I went to the Philippines. I actually had a awesome contract with Star Records, and I was part of ASAP. Yeah, I met the greatest artists of the Philippines. In fact, I also made that duet song with Angeline Quinto, Piliin Mo ang Pilipinas, Choose the Philippines. And I will never forget that time. And the time in the Philippines was very pivotal in my career and in my life because I've seen my culture again. So I was learning how it is to be a Filipino and how what our roots are, what our history is, and where my parents are coming from.
Mhm.
So, and also in the Philippines, I was meeting my wife, and we went back here, and from
So that's where you met your wife?
yes, exactly.
Wow.
She's from Seattle, California. She's from Seattle, Washington,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, she's also Filipina, full-blooded, but she's actually also a musical theater actress, and did a lot of commercials. But at that time, we were all both self-employed, so we met in the showbiz industry, and the rest is history. Yes. I'm just this simple guy from Vienna, Austria, and all of a sudden I'm here. So I was kind of like no one can take away this experience from me. So it was a beautiful experience to be in the Philippines and actually also go back again to the country where I was actually born and raised. So this is here, Vienna, Austria.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, now I will represent Austria for Eurovision Song Contest. Yeah.
Congratulations. And
Thank
I
you.
understand that you were supposed to do that also last year. You were supposed to represent Austria in the Eurovision, but because of the pandemic, it didn't push through.
Yeah, did not push through, and actually we already foresaw it because as the pandemic, that was the time when Corona really took its toll. Yeah, we already kind of knew, and we thought it will be such a miracle if that it would still be happening, but no, it didn't take place. So what it gave me, it was actually a very stressful time, and one of a sudden I got the phone call and they said, Vincent, it will not take place anymore, so don't worry, you're still the guy for next year. So I was like, wow, guys, thank you so much, because I don't take that for granted. There's a lot of countries that didn't take their artists from last year, so this is a big thing for me still.
Are you still singing that song alive?
No, 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 no. I'm singing another song which was composed by an international team called Unified Songs. Um, yeah, this time I'm just the artist who's singing a beautiful song written by somebody else, and that's beautiful. It's a very strong song. It's called Amen, but it's not the typical religious kind of amen word or metaphoric word that we use. It's more like, yeah, it's actually just a song that talks about a broken relationship and how we cope with letting go of things, and through the letting go, you kind of feel the sense of relief, but the struggle is real, and that's actually a very, very kind of like a dark song, but it kind of, I think the reason why I chose the song is because it really helps so many people nowadays, especially with the pandemic. And
You will be um, wearing something special. Is
yeah,
that true?
that is very, very true. Yeah. Just that example, I think it's such a blessing that Michael Cinco, first of all, is super humble. I know, like, I mean, the whole world knows him. All of the big names and artists go to him from Hollywood, um, Grammy awarding artists. Like, I'm like, what? Why is he even working with me? And thank you to Bertrand Junior Rodriguez, who actually made that happen. I'm super humbled to even talk about it, because I'm like, this guy is such a big name, and still he never forgot to this Filipino traits, to everyone helps everyone. And that's where I really feel I am still a Filipino. I love the Filipino culture. And in fact, when we talk about cultures, I really, really realize more and more what a Filipino I am still.
You're
Yeah.
representing Austria, you're representing your country, but at the same time, you have something with you which also somehow represent the Philippines, which is a Michael Cinco creation, and of course yourself.
It's such an honor. And, you know, I think being the only full-blooded Asian now in the Eurovision Song Contest, I feel there is something that that I really have to speak up for, especially the hate that is going on right now, especially in the Asian communities. You know, we've been seeing everywhere right now what has been happening, and I think alone that Austria, Austria itself goes and trusts a Filipino to represent their country is such a big thing, because it's a statement. It's a really huge statement to say, hey, we are world open. We are not just you know, we don't just see things black and white, but we know, we believe in Vincent Bueno's abilities, and also it gives us the chance as Filipinos to also shine a light again, you know, and that's such an amazing thing. I really have to admit.
So how are Asians being treated in Austria, particularly because of the ripple effect, or because of the effect of because of the pandemic?
I heard you know, I think the typical stereotypes. I heard a lot of times, especially that one time it was very special to me. In fact, I was so happy that it happened to me, because I was like, no, this can't be real, right? But one of a sudden I heard, hey, you virus. And I was like,
So
what?
you experience it yourself.
I really did. And I was make since I'm my skin is very thick and I do comedy a lot too. I feel like it's just more, it gives me more fuel for my comedy skits to use these hate accusations. But at the end of the day, not everyone has a thick skin, and it's not the time to just laugh about these things, especially now, because it's serious. It's also not without a pandemic. Asians themselves, we are always being, because we are also being told, or we've been taught to not speak up. We've been taught to keep it calm. Dapat polite lang tayo. Dapat we shouldn't make anybody, we shouldn't make any confrontation. That's what we're lacking. We're Asians for confrontation, and I think that's what the younger generation has to learn, and has to actually learn in a very kind way. We still can be the kind Asians that we are, but we have to confront when we see injustice. That's my opinion about that. And
that particular situation, how did you handle it when you were called virus?
That particular situation, I handled it pretty cool, because as I said, it was the first time and I was laughing about it, but there was more instances where, racism also happens very passive here in Austria, especially towards us Asians. It's always, yeah, it's a Chinese, and it became part of my comedian act. I'm always kind of like the Chinese guy, even though I'm a Filipino. But if you think about it, it's a way of coping with all of the stress that has been, we have been bullied with. So it's if you ask me, how do I deal with it? Now I instead of laughing about it more, I actually call out people more, saying, hey, this is not good. I think we shouldn't do that, even though you kind of mean it like in a humoristic way. This is still not. So it's still not the setting. We don't have show lights going on. We're not doing comedy right now.
So, so you speak more about it. That's what you do.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of people just don't know how they come across, and they say something and you say something back. It's not that we always have to do just because we're the Asians. We don't have to bow down all the time.
Wow, very well said. Now, Vincent, tell us, a lot of people are following you. A lot of people, especially the younger ones, Filipinos in Europe, would like to follow in your footsteps and would like to achieve something in the music industry. Alam mo naman ang Pinoy, mahilig kumanta. What advice would you give them?
Wow, especially being a Filipino abroad, I think pinaka-importante is to learn culture. Learn the culture where you are, and master it, because I think there's nothing, your personality will bring you to your success, not your talent. Your talent is a go-to. Dapat kailangan mo yun. You have to have talent. So we don't want to even talk talent. Talent is working hard, yes, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is your personality. You work on your personality. You work to ano yung mga kilite ng mga tao sa culture mo. So if the Austrians needed a little rougher and you cannot be too soft, then give it to them. You cannot be the typical Pinoy in here, in this setting. You have to give them a little edge. But if, for example, the mentality where you are is exactly the opposite, and you have to be the humble guy, you have to be, I think as a Filipino, you have to always be your authentic self, but learn to adapt in settings and mentalities. That's the most important. And through that, I think you're getting near your goals, because it will also express in your music and the way you, especially, for example, if you see Amen, the song, it's not my first choice of how I express myself, but I know that way is how Europeans would understand it more, because we as Filipinos, we're more like OPM. We're more like in these we're actually sounding more black, if you know what I mean, musically. So you have to know, and you have to adapt to your culture, and make that identity. Yeah, you make that identity yours. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're a parent now. You're married. You have kids. How many kids do you have?
Yeah, 2 daughters.
Hindi pa nadagdagan. So, dalawa pa lang. Um,
Yes.
so, and both of you, you grew up in Vienna, your wife grew up in America, and now you're raising a family in Vienna.
Yeah.
Marami din nagpa-follow sa you who are young parents. What are the things that you would like to inculcate in the hearts and minds of your children so that they thrive in being European Filipino?
I think what has been given to us as Filipinos generally is morals, and our, I don't want to step on anyone's foot here, but I think even down to how we believe and our faith, our values. I think especially family values, these are the things that keep me together, and I want to pass that on to my children and to their children's children, because I think it's super important to never let culture go, especially being Filipinos in a foreign country. Yes, we have to teach our children the culture here, but maintain the essence of being Filipinos, which is staying malambing, cooking good food, eating good food, and staying close to the family and being magalang. Like, we have to have respect, and I think respect is the thing with Filipinos. I think that's as high-blooded and temperament-wise we are. I think we really want children to respect parents, and that's what I think my mom and dad did a very, very good job with me and my sister. Yeah, I think they really, really did a good job with us with that.
Vincent, I always ask people I interview about, especially those who grew up in another country, mixed race Filipinos, how much of you is Filipino?
I realize more and more. Oh my gosh! Every time I step out and show up and show, be here, just being here in Austria, I can adapt like a like a reptile. Like I can really, really be an Austrian if they need me to. But deep inside my heart, I'm 100% Filipino because, you know, these, especially talking about respect, talking about pakisama, talking about, you know, dapat alam mo na yon, you know, these are Filipino traits where you, at the end of the day, you cannot expect that from the white people. You cannot expect it from other all the other cultures. But at the end of the day, you are still expecting it somehow because you are still a Filipino. You're like, how can you be so? How can you be so cold to me right now when I'm so nice and kind to you? Because as Filipinos, we have a tendency to take things personal because we're so sensitive and we're so, as I said, mainit na ulo, or we, you know, there's some triggers. And I think all in all, now with being 35, I realize how 100% I am a Filipino. I really, really appreciate every one of you guys. If you want to know more about my Eurovision journey, just follow me on official Vincent Bueno with the blue verification on Instagram, because there's a lot of fake profiles out there. But please just follow me. And on Facebook, it's also official Vincent Bueno. Also, you can visit my website under www.vincent-bueno.com. And yeah, just be informed. And I will actually put out a lot of instruction videos on how you guys can vote for me on Eurovision on May 20th,
Wow,
2021.
malapit na. Best of luck,
Malapit na talaga.
Vincent. Oh my goodness.
And I think we are also the batch that made history because we're the batch Corona, you know. we are I mean, we had the longest run for Eurovision promotion. So this is also such a blessing in these times where you can't get any kind of promotion. That's why I'm super humbled, and thank you again, guys, for your support. And Rose, thank you so much for this kind interview. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Good luck.